Have you ever thought that the issues you have around food and diet and body image are a habit? In this video, I'm going to review a healthy diet plan for weight loss called The Weightless Mind. It's a program designed by Georgia Foster, and I'm going to interview Georgia and I'm going to ask her some clarifying questions as well. Health Explorer Neil Fellows here, and if you want to get healthy and fit and stay healthy and fit and do it in a way that's natural and unique to you, unique to you, then please subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of all of our latest interviews and reviews. Whether it's binge eating, overeating, crash dieting, or just not eating, sometimes our relationship with food can just make us feel angry, annoyed, or even depressed with ourselves. I've experienced the pleasure of losing weight and getting to the point where I feel good about myself, only to steadily gain weight and then be annoyed with myself for allowing myself to regain the weight. I didn't get annoyed the first time it happened, but over the years it became a habit that's happened a few times. Well, actually, it's happened a lot. In fact, it's something I've probably struggled with most of my adult life. So when I came across the Weightless Mind program run by Georgia Foster, I was interested because the program promises to look in on the real issues behind the resistance to weight loss and yo-yo dieting and how to change it. In this video, I want to share my experience of that program and bring in Georgia Foster and ask her some of my burning questions. Scrolling through Georgia Foster's website page, there was a phrase that jumped out at me. If you use food as a way to feel better, to calm you down, or deal with stress, anger, boredom, loneliness, and as a way to feel safer, then this online program is for you. I actually use food in a number of ways. When someone ticks me off, I'll eat. When I'm celebrating, I'll eat. When I can't sleep, I'll eat. When I'm thinking about a business problem or an idea or a strategy, I'll eat. When I'm bored, I'll eat. When I'm watching TV, I'll eat. Even when my stomach already feels queasy, I'll eat. So it's safe to say that I've got a very strong appetite. I pretty much eat for any reason and every reason. But what about you? What's your relationship with food like? Are you a comfort eater? Are you a binge eater? Are you a constant dieter who keeps losing weight only to put it back on again? If it was easy to lose weight and keep it off, I guess the world would have solved that problem by now and we wouldn't be facing an obesity crisis. A lot of people, me included, started my weight loss journey by changing my diet, then starting to exercise. And I guess the principle of eat less, move more works to an extent, but I think what people miss, and I'm talking from experience here, is the part of the mind plays in getting weight off and keeping it off.
Well, the purpose of the mind is to protect you against vulnerability. So if you have a history of gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, or being unsuccessful, it's not that your mind really wants you to continue to be unsuccessful. It just works on pure emotional habit. So that's really key when it comes to making changes. You have to change that emotional conditioning before you can have any long-term success.
In the Weightless Mind program, Georgia takes you on a journey of hypnosis. And in one of the exercises, I noticed something. I noticed when I smell food, I feel a heightened energy that I wouldn't call calm. I also couldn't call it excitement, and I can't call it anxiety. It was just a really strong desire to eat immediately, but also a corresponding concern that I was going to overeat or eat something that was going to make me fat. The goal, however, from the program is to feel calm while we eat, to heal, to replenish, to rejuvenate, and to taste and enjoy our food. After all, our food is our fuel. But at the start of the program, that was not what I was personally experiencing, certainly not very often.
Well, you've got two parts of the brain. You've got the calm part of the brain, which is the prefrontal cortex. When you're in this part of the brain, you're actually calm and centered. But a lot of people who have a history of eating in unhelpful ways, in terms of eating quickly, or is that their mind is in the fear-based part of the brain, which is the amygdala, which is like the two almond-shaped parts behind the ears. And so people don't recognize that they're often eating because they're anxious, they're scared, they're bored, they're tired, any of those vulnerabilities. And the main purpose of the work that I do is to train the mind to be away from the amygdala before they eat. And so when you're in that lovely calm part of your mind in the prefrontal cortex, is you're much more kinder to yourself. You think and you feel paused and you have a sense of emotional stability. And that's the goal before people eat, to be in that space rather than this frenzied, I'm going to, eat too much, and then you end up, becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy.
As a result of doing the hypnosis track on day one, I actually deliberately decided to pause while I was eating and notice what I was doing. And I actually enjoyed doing that. Georgia also talked about personality types, and I identified with what she called the pleaser, someone who wants to help others, and one of the ways that they take care of themselves is through food. She said that pleasers are great cooks and they want to care for other people. Now, I'm not saying I'm a great cook, but cooking is a way that I do express love for other people. In the second hypnosis track, something that grabbed my attention was what Georgia said about imagining how to feel good and proud and looking after me. It was the pride thing that really stood out for me, because I'd never thought about choosing food that would give me a sense of pride. And diving into that a bit more, I realised that there are some foods that I might enjoy but don't bring me a sense of pride when I'm eating them. For example, I know that live foods are good for me, things like sprouts or veg, and I can feel good and I can feel proud for choosing that. And that's much better than criticising yourself for eating the biscuits.
Wow, the inner critic is, we all have an inner critic. It's that negative part that says you're overweight, everybody else is slimmer than you, everybody copes better than you, everybody earns more money than you, everyone's smarter than you. I mean, the inner critic isn't necessarily judgmental about your weight, although with people who struggle with food, it tends to make you have very negative body image issues about yourself. But the good news is that the inner critic, they call it the reptilian part of the brain. It's the part that is going to, it tries to forewarn you about what might happen, but it's only using your history. So when you want to make a change, you need to train your brain to tune out of that negative inner dialogue and tune into that, calm, centered self who knows how to feel safe around food.
I like that the program was about attitude that I brought to eating. What I liked about the hypnosis tracks was that the hypnosis took me to a different eating scenario. For example, the kitchen at home, but also eating out with friends or at a restaurant, or even when I'm on the go, where I was maybe not going to make the best food choice available to me. And then I would have made the choices in that moment. And I like this because by using the imagination, I could see myself in possibly worst case scenarios and see how I could solve that problem and consider the options, rather than finding myself in a situation where I made a poor choice because I didn't anticipate it. This is a really great mental rehearsal. I enjoyed that the hypnosis track got me to look at my relationship with life and food, not just food, but how you feel about life, because how you feel about life can affect how you eat, and how you feel about food can affect your life. Tell us about how what you feel affects what and how you eat.
A great example would be if you feel that you want to lose weight, or you want to feel you have to have a healthy relationship with food, is that you've got to understand that at this point in time, is your mind literally has trained itself to think this way. It's a bit like, you're expecting to change the record when there's only one record to play. And we know traditionally the mind is very lazy. It doesn't like change, which is where the inner critic kicks in and says, oh, you've got a whole history of not being successful at losing weight. Now, that may be the history of your mind, but it doesn't represent your future. So what's really important is with the program is to train that person's mind and body to connect to food from a place of wisdom. And when you're in that space, you don't need to eat with a frenzied sensation, and you don't need to overeat. You kind of, your mind body is connected, and your stomach will let you know when you've had enough. And it's that real graceful eating that we're talking about, that sense of that you feel blessed to have food. And that doesn't mean you can't have cake or pizza or chocolate. It's just that instead of feeling that that food is demonic, in a sense, it's going to make you feel mad about yourself and angry about yourself, is that you can see that food as being a pleasurable experience.
Overall, the Weightless Mind program is a really good hypnosis program that helps you consider your relationship with food. It's priced at an affordable £39, and it's made me more aware of my relationship with food, and it's also improved my relationship with food. It's certainly made me feel more conscious about what I eat and how I eat. Below you'll find a link to the program. If you decide to buy the Weightless Mind program, we appreciate you using that link, because we may earn a small commission, which helps the channel keep producing more videos like this. That said, Total Wellness Club will not let commercial interests interfere with our desire to give you honest product reviews based on our experience of a product or a service. I'll see you in the next video.